Welcome everyone to another edition of the Big V Player and Coach of the Month. This time it's for July. Steve Chalmers, Laura McIntosh with you. Before we move forward, we better just put a little asterisk on these awards. Regular season only.
Correct.
So you can't put forward, I played ridiculously well in the finals. That doesn't count.
Yes, this is just, it's for July obviously, but for those divisions that started their postseason campaign during July, Vic Youth Champ Men and Women and Youth League One Men.
Yes.
It's just for the first 2 weeks of, which were the last 2 weeks of their regular season.
Okay, let's get cracking. Youth League 2 Women Coach of the Month is
Peter Friend from Sherbrooke. So congratulations to Peter and the Sherbrooke Suns. It was a 2-horse race with Frankston for, again, Frankston obviously have had a stellar season in this division, as both teams finished July without a loss at 5-0. However, 2 massive wins from the Suns this past month, which put their average winning margin over 40 points, is what got them over the line for July.
Sherbrooke flavour in Youth League 2 Women because Naomi Smith has taken out the Player of the Month. Just over 17 points per game and 9.5 rebounds per game. She's swatting shots left, right and centre as well, nearly averaging 3.5 blocks a game, 50% from the field from her shooting wise, so that's excellent for Naomi, and she's been fantastic.
Yeah, back-to-back awards for Naomi, so things looking good for them heading into the finals.
Youth League 2 Men, our Coach of the Month, where are we heading?
We're heading to Craigieburn this month. Congratulations to Tom Carroll and the Craigieburn Eagles. They went through July undefeated to finish comfortably top of the ladder in Youth League 2 Men. So yeah, it should be another big finals campaign ahead for these guys.
Absolutely, best of luck to them. And Player of the Month, Ned Wiedemann out of Pakenham played a whole heap of games in July, 6 of them in fact, averaging a double-double. How's this for some stats? 17.5 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, nearly 6 assists per game on 49% from the field. Has been huge off the back and finished with that triple-double against Craigieburn of 16 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, which saw him on the blue carpet this week. Has been brilliant. Pakenham in the finals. Hopefully he can lead them to go places and go far.
It'll actually be interesting when them and Craigieburn meet up in the finals.
Interesting, very, very interesting. Youth League 1 Women, let's move forward. It's been Casey and Keilor and Casey all season long. Coach of the Month, I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's going to one of those two teams.
Yes, you are correct, and it was a tough one, especially with Casey and Keilor playing each other in the last game of the regular season. However, Keilor got the chocolates in that one, which meant
fair enough
that they were the only team to go through July undefeated. So congratulations to Travis Hill and the girls out at Keilor. Hats off, of course, to Brad Roof and the Casey girls. They had some really big wins in July, but Keilor just got it off them in the last possible game in July.
And how's this for some numbers from our Player of the Month? Some will argue that she has been carrying a team. They've been struggling this season. They haven't been winning too many games, but these numbers are just ridiculous. Out of the Corio Bay Stingrays, Carly Villeman, nearly 26 points per game, over 21 rebounds per game at 56% from the floor. That is quite nearly unheard of.
Yes, and it's actually her second award for this year. I believe in June it was another Carly Cranston from Craigieburn, but then Carly Villeman got it again in May. And as you said, Corio Bay have had a tough season, but Carly Villeman has definitely been the shining light. So great way for them to finish their season.
Fantastic. Moving on, Youth League 1 Men. We head to Geelong for the Coach of the Month because Darren Hindle has built a very solid team out there. They're obviously now into the grand final to face off with Ballarat, but in the first 2 weeks of July they went 3-0, and I just love that they capped off their win against local rivals Corio Bay.
Yeah, and Corio Bay were running in some hot form towards the end of the regular season, so that was a big win for them. For the Player of the Month, we're actually heading out to Sunbury, who didn't make the playoffs unfortunately, but Lukanda Tazigwa, have I pronounced that
Spot on.
correctly. Excellent, thank you. He had a fantastic, I'd say, back half of the season. Built momentum more and more. He played 2 games in those last 2 weeks of the regular season at start of July, averaged 27 points a game and 4.5 rebounds a game, so pretty solid. Put up some pretty nice dunks in there too, which were fun to watch.
He did it at both ends as well. He had 5 steals a game, I believe, and you're not wrong. Just the back half of the season, we weren't too... it wasn't a recognisable name in the first half of the season, but certainly Tazigwa on the back half really found some form for the Jets. VYC women now, Vic Youth Champ women, they're obviously into grand finals this weekend, but Coach of the Month heads out to Bendigo. Cam Wilcox, 4-0, top place Braves. They did do it tough in the postseason, but big wins over 3rd place Southern, 6th place Hawthorn, heading into the final round of the season, into the postseason. Certainly saw the Bendigo Braves on top in July.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of a hollow victory for Cam and the girls there. They wouldn't have liked that first round loss, but it's been a fantastic year for them, so well-deserved award.
Player of the month, where are we heading?
We are going similar way, actually a rival. We're going to Ballarat and Laura Taylor.
Ooh.
We know that she doesn't always suit up for the youth team because she's often in the NBL 1 team, but when she does, it is always a treat. She played 2 games at the end of the month for Ballarat, averaged 21 points a game, massive 13 rebounds a game. And it was a close one. Obviously, when you have less games to choose from, because of the regular season qualification for this award, it makes it tough. But Tasha Overby was also up there, Chloe Hicks from Southern too. So congratulations to all of those players.
VYC men now, and in terms of the coach, this one will be fairly happy heading into his 2nd straight grand final series, because where are we heading and who is the coach of the month?
We're heading out to Nunawading. Andrew Cutler is our coach of the month for VYC men. 3 teams actually went undefeated in July in this division. Nunawading was one of them, obviously, but then Dandenong and McKinnon as well. We spoke about McKinnon in the podcast and left it a bit late this year, but Nunawading, in those 2 wins they had at start of July, one of them was against Eltham, the top team, the form team of the competition in this division all year, and ironically their grand final opponents. So I wonder if this is a sign of things to come.
And player of the month, we head out to the Southern Sabres, sees Nick Gapsch get the player of the month award, 25.5 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3.5 steals, did it all, a little bit of everything. The form player, quite clearly, at the end of the season, throughout July and the couple of weeks they had, and it all finished off when he had 28 against the Magic.
Yeah, another team that ran into form back after the season, a little bit too late, unfortunately, but great reward to finish off the season.
Let's head into the seniors now, Division 2 women we begin with, and coach of the month, where are we going?
Going out to Mornington. Congratulations to Steve Matthews and the Mornington Breakers. Had a great run of form in the past probably 6 weeks at the end of the season. They beat ladder leaders Melbourne Uni, which would have been their main competition for this award. That was a close 2-point win, but a great get, which sees them, as well as wins over North East, Blackburn and Collingwood. So a well-deserved award for the Mornington girls and Steve Matthews. Speaking
of Collingwood, who Mornington gave a little touch-up to, Naisha Sims is the player of the month. Another one similar to Carly Vullerman in Youth League 1 Women. The team weren't as successful, but certainly leading from the front was Sims, 24.5 points per game, 11.5 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting at over 41% from the field throughout July. 2nd award for the season, I believe, for Sims.
Yes, I think so. And she's actually, we've still got been on the Rolling Team of the Year every week so far this year. She's the only player to have done that, so congratulations to Naisha Sims. There you go. Division 2 men, moving on pretty quickly. Southern Peninsula is where we head for the Coach of the Month. Yep, back-to-back awards for Lucas Allen and the Southern Peninsula Sharks. No team actually went undefeated in this division for July. Southern Peninsula were really close, but they actually lost their last game in round 18. They played 2 against Maccabi. They were a bit unlucky. I guess they'd already secured top spot in the ladder. Troyes Manasseh didn't play, and they had a player get disqualified from the game early on, so that probably didn't help them. But they've been back after the season, definitely the form team. So congratulations to the Sharks. You mentioned that they lost to Maccabi. I'm sure a big reason in that defeat was Benji Tamir, because he's been named the July Player of the Month for Division 2 men.
was neck and neck between Tamir and Damon Smith out of Craigieburn, but his hard work's just been rewarded for the month of July in Tamir. His massive 39 points against the Breakers gets him there in terms of his averages, just a touch under 30 points per game, 12.5 rebounds, shooting at 41%, which is pretty good for Benji Tamir because he gets a lot of shots up throughout season 19. So congratulations to him. Moving on to Division 1 Women, Coach of the Month.
We're heading out to Hawthorn. Congratulations to Jai Sassari and the girls out there. Another team that really hit their straps in this last month, 6 weeks, to finish atop of the ladder. They went 5-0 for the month of July, beating Bellarine, Latrobe City, Camberwell, Warrandyte and Craigieburn. Now, it was actually a really tight race for that 4th spot in the finals, and of those teams, Bellarine actually the only team in the playoffs, so they perhaps didn't have the most competitive fixture during the month of July, but you can only play who you're given.
Correct.
So,
you can only beat who's put in front of you.
Yes, so great effort from the girls out of Hawthorn.
Player of the month for Division 1 Women. I know you love this player, so I'll let you do the honours.
Oh, well, to be fair, we don't even need to do this section. It's just a given. Alicia Lovett from Mildura, she's won Player of the Month every time we've done it this season. I will eat my hat if she doesn't win MVP this year. She's been that dominant. She averages 34 points a game, almost 16 rebounds a game. She played 7 games in July, which is massive because Mildura had that extra fixture against Warrandyte that had to be replayed. They were on the road all over the shop. Her highlight was when she scored 46 points in the second matchup against Warrandyte, which they actually ended up losing. It's hard to believe a player can score that much and their side lose. But yeah, what a champion. Can't wait to see her in finals.
D1 men, Warrandyte have been flying this season and Ross Charles leads the way out there. 5-0 wins over Coburg, Shep, Keesey, Whittlesea and Warrnambool. 4 of them by double digits as well, mind you. So Warrandyte, form team of the competition in Division 1 men, and that's why Ross Charles is the coach of the month. Player of the month.
Yes, player of the month. We're going back to Warrnambool. Xavier Johnson-Blount wins it back-to-back for the second month in a row. Very similar stats to last month, averaging 33.5 points a game, 7.5 rebounds a game, and almost 5 assists a game. His top score was against the Steelers, where he had 29 points in an 8-point loss for his side. So unfortunate that they couldn't make the finals because it would have been great to see this guy doing this in the postseason.
Championship women now, coach of the month, and they just go about their business in the best of ways, especially come crunch time at the end of the season. Sunbury's Kennedy Kiriyama may need to be split the award because obviously Kennedy was out on Victorian Metro head coaching duties, I believe, at some point in July, so we have to give some shout outs to his assistants.
Yes.
So he may not have won the award by himself, but 4-0 for the Sunbury Jets, wins over Werribee, Southern Peninsula, Bulleen and McKinnon, and just letting you know, the lowest of margins was a measly 20 points.
Yes, and that was against the Sharks, who are not in finals, ironically. So, look, these guys seem to know when to win at the exact right time of the year, and a bit under the radar. Really, I feel like it really snuck up.
Under the radar.
I feel like they snuck up on us. We were too busy concentrating on other people. Maybe that was just me.
Well, it's what they do best, and that they will be very strong come the postseason. Player of the month, we go to Whittlesea. Rachel Bell has been excellent for the Pacers this season, and more importantly, in the month of July. Nearly 30 points a game, nearly 8 rebounds a game, so she's touching very close to those statistics. It was a 37-point outing against finals contender, the Hume City Broncos, that solidified it.
Yep, in that game, she shot 71% of her team's total, which
massive.
Is another...
Concerning for Whittlesea a little bit, but massive for Rachel Bell.
Another player that stood out in a team that's had a bit of a tough year.
Yeah. Championship men, we wrap it all up. Coach of the month, where are we heading?
We're heading to McKinnon. This probably isn't a surprise. McKinnon have been the form team all year, so congratulations to Maine Maybank and his boys out there. They've really brought things home the back end of the regular season to solidify that top spot. 6 wins, no losses. They've beaten Blackburn, Corio Bay, Hawthorn, Casey, Chelsea and Keilor, so a lot of teams in the finals mix in there. In their last game against Keilor, the likes of Stike, Williams and Tomato all didn't play. They put up some different guys gave them the start and they absolutely smashed it, so I just think watch out for these guys come finals.
Yeah, big final series coming up for the Cougars. Player of the month, arguably I think this bloke would have just edged out his teammate in Connor Coulis because this duo had been going crazy in the month of July, but Dave Shepherd out of the Werribee Devils earns Player of the Month.
Yep, almost 36 points a game, 8.6 rebounds a game, shooting at 58%, which is massive. He scored over 40 points on 3 successive occasions.
Crazy.
Or not successive, but sorry, 3 out of the 5 games he played during July. His season high, equaling 49 points at the start of July, was arguably the factor in his side's 1-point win over Chelsea.
Yeah, 49 twice this season.
Yeah,
Season
ridiculous.
equaling. He only got 49 twice. Jeez. What can you do?
Yeah.
Can't even get to 50. Come on, Dave. But season over for him. 49. Crazy season, crazy month. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to the other 23 award recipients throughout July. Round 18 mixtape is coming at the end of this week. And, of course, the postseason begins for 9 of our divisions, and grand finals begin for our other 3. So we wish you all the very best of luck this weekend, and we look forward to wrapping it all up next week on some Big V finals recaps and previews. We'll catch you next time.